Hey everybody, and welcome to episode 13 of the Detroit Lions franchise, coming off a big win against the Baltimore Ravens. And this week we're going to be facing the Chicago Bears. It's going to be a rivalry game, and this is going to be absolutely important if we're hoping to find our way into the playoff race, hopefully get one of those lower seeds, and hopefully fight our way through playoffs and make at least win one game, get something, have something that the fans can get excited for. You can see here we're trying to give an offer here to David Njoku. We are interested in signing him. I said it last episode that it might be questionable signing someone like David Njoku. Already having a guy like TJ Hawkinson, why would we want a second tight end on a long-term contract? But, I'm looking at it from a different viewpoint. We haven't really integrated David Njoku the way I've wanted to just yet. Because the way I see him, being at full capacity with our offense is kind of an H-back role where he's going to get some playing time at fullback, tight end. We're going to be able to do a lot more with him. We're going to be able to slip him out as a fullback in the I formation, get him in the passing game there. We currently have Nick Bodden doing it, but if we can get, someone like David Njoku to do it, I think we'll be just that much more effective. So if we can flip him into that H-back role, I think it makes sense to have two tight ends who are going to be on relatively long-term contracts that might be a little bit expensive, but are going to be legitimate weapons for this offense, which is why I'm just, I'm very adamant about getting him re-signed. You want to look at, more recent examples. There's quite a few teams that are running with two tight end sets, whether it be the Eagles with Ertz, and, the Eagles have that. Of course, the Ravens have it as well. And but the one I'm envisioning more is kind of what New England had with Rob Gronkowski and Aaron Hernandez, kind of a taboo topic, but Aaron Hernandez kind of was the guy who was able to do everything, lined up out wide, lined up in the fullback, lined up at running back, lined up at tight end, and he was just so effective. And they had Gronk to do kind of the typical tight end stuff, who became a great blocker for them off the, on the, line of scrimmage, and, be able to release off at a tight end, to the left, outside of the tackles. But if we can have a guy like, Aaron Hernandez, and I think we can do something similar with that, with David Njoku, a guy who's flexible, a guy who can line up just about anywhere. I think that's where our offense is going to be able to utilize him at his best. So now we're going to hop into the game here. Of course, we're going to be facing off Nick Foles here and Allen Robinson, and we're going to see if he can have an effective game like he did last time, as we're going to get a big stop there with Trey Flowers behind the scrimmage. So it's going to be a 2nd and 12 here. On the first play of the game, they went to the slant route to, I believe that was Anthony Miller. They got the first down, but here we're able to stop them, bringing pressure, and this time it's going to be Romeo Okwara and Trey Flowers who are going to be able to work together there and take him down. They've been so effective in recent games, and it's really nice to see that the pressure that we're creating is only coming up from the middle with Danny Shelton or Deshaun Hand, but our defensive ends are getting involved as well. And if we can get that going, I think we're going to have a very scary D-line as we get into the second half of the season, as we're going to be able to get them out here on a 4th and 18. He runs a little flat there for veteran tight end Jimmy Graham, and but we're going to see our offense here for the first time. And we came out with a tough win. Matthew Stafford with 3 touchdowns to 1 interception last week. Let's see how he can respond and hopefully keep the momentum going. If we can string along a couple wins, we'll be in a much better situation, as the first run is going to be a stop by Akeem Hicks. Kerryon Johnson is going to be stopped behind the line of scrimmage for -2 yards, and not a great thing. We think this offense runs best when we can get the run game going, and a big part of our run game is going to be Kerryon Johnson, but on the very next play, we're going to hit Rashad Perriman on the drag route. That's going to be a first down. I think that was a lucky spot. The refs perhaps on our side with home field advantage, as we are going to try and bait the defense offside, but I never understand why it's always the offense, and you rarely see the offensive line actually budge, but then the D-line's the one that attacks, but they still call it on the offense, and I just think, it's practically worthless going for 2, where it's very rare that it actually works out, and an interception from Matthew Stafford. And for a couple games in a row now, he's been throwing an interception each. And, we've been able to keep games tight, but when we go against Green Bay, who we're going to face twice very soon, on the very next play, a fumble by Jimmy Graham, and that's going to be Jamie Collins, veteran linebacker, who's going to knock it out. But going back to it, I just wanted to review this quickly. Not an animation you see very often, these forced fumbles. Usually it's the ones where they are practically already down. And but we're going to get a good one here, and you're going to see Jamie Collins is going to wrap around him, and I believe with his left arm, he's just going to punch this one out, create a fumble, and we're going to be able to get the ball back right away. But, as we face some tough teams like Green Bay coming up, Matthew Stafford throwing interceptions is just going to make our life so much harder. And we really need to clean up the offense. I don't know what's going on. He wasn't as prone to throwing interceptions early on in the season, unless we're talking about week 1 where he threw 3. But, he played great until the bye week, and then he's been, a little inconsistent here so far in the second half. And if we want to create a playoff push, he's really going to have to step it up for us. Of course, he made a big throw to Sammy Watkins last week when we needed a fourth quarter comeback, and got it to Sammy Watkins on the post route. We had a little play action crossers, scheme, and he was able to just dump it in there. Probably the best throw of the year we've had so far, as we're going to get something that we like. No, we get man coverage, and usually we take the corner route every single day, but Matthew Stafford perhaps a little hesitant with someone like an athlete like Roquan covering TJ Hawkinson, who's able to stay, step for step with him, and that's just something that Roquan's able to do with that athleticism and speed. On the very next play, we go screen route throw. He's going to get hit as he throws. And DeAndre Swift is not going to be able to get the first down, so it's going to be a 4th and 9 here, but at least we are able to get points up on the board after the Jamie Collins turnover. Now, Matt Prater is going to put that right down the middle. He's been phenomenal for us this year. I believe only missing 2 field goal attempts so far, when the year before he really struggled. Now, the Chicago Bears back on offense are going to see a motion there, and it's going to be a handoff to David Montgomery, but it's going to be Trey Flowers taking him down. We said the defensive ends getting involved in the passing game. They've been much better in the run game as well, and in recent weeks, our standing when it comes to league stats and team stats has absolutely surged, as we are now a top 5 team in the run so far, something I absolutely wasn't expecting, but we're going to take it, and we're going to absolutely enjoy it, and we're going to try and take advantage of it. So now 3rd and 12 after a couple good stops, looking around, and he's going to throw this one out of bounds. So once again, the defense is stepping up, and they've been able to do that. They keep us in games in close games that we probably shouldn't be in at some points. As Kerryon Johnson hits the outside, nothing but green ahead of him. Will someone get him? Eventually they do, but a massive gain, and we're hoping with this big rush right here, we're going to get the defense to start playing honest and hopefully take advantage of it over the top. Now, 1st and 10 on the 21, Matthew Stafford, play action. Looking around, he's going to dump this one off to Bodden. And this is what I mean. I'd like to have, 3 decent tight ends who can catch the ball, who can block. But on that situation, I think if we can have David Njoku be the one who catches the flat, with his ability to turn up the field, he's able to break a couple tackles as well, as we're looking to throw the ball here, but Roquan Smith is going to punch it out before Swift can turn up field or corral it. It looks like Swift looked up field before he actually had the ball, so he never actually secures it, and Roquan makes a big play on 2nd down. Now looking around, finding Brashad Perriman in the slant, and he's going to be stopped short at the 1-yard line. That is heartbreaking. We thought we had another touchdown for Brashad Perriman, who stepped up last week with a big seam, a touchdown from the seam, who just got over one of the defensive backs for the Ravens and was able to run it into the end zone. And, he was super effective early on in the season, has kind of, sizzled out a little bit, but it looks like he's going to be able to continue being very effective for us. And like I said in the past, I think this receiving core, what we offer to Matthew Stafford, these are guys that, maybe they're not elite. They're not guys who are going to create separation every play. You can't rely on them to do that by themselves. But we kind of have a group where we know at least someone's going to get open on most plays. And I think Matthew Stafford can benefit from that. And I think we have this year, as we've been able to win a couple close games. We've been able to compete in most losses. And overall, the offense looks a lot better than I expected. But is it going to be enough to push us into the playoff race? We're not sure yet. But this game is definitely going to be crucial, as we did lose to the Bears in our first meeting. And I believe we are currently tied when it comes to team record. So coming out with a win here, hopefully with a couple points, so we can make up for the point differential between this game and the first game, and hopefully get ahead of them on the standings. That would be crucial, as he's going to find, I believe that is Anthony. Nope, that's going to be Mooney, 2nd-year receiver, getting open on the deep dig route. And that's going to be a big first down here. So on 1st and 10 on the 43-yard line, Nick Foles is going to go in the shotgun with Cohen to his left. He's going to drop back and wide open. It's going to be Jimmy Graham on the corner route. Jelani Tavai in coverage. This is probably not his strong suit. This is not where he's been at his most effective for us so far this year, even though he is the leading tackler. He's probably not the most reliable guy in pass coverage, as Nick Foles is going to draw, his offensive line offside. I actually believe it was Cole Kmet who's the one who jumps a little too early. And it's going to be a 1st and 15. Play action, rolling out. Nick Foles looking for an open man. He's just going to end up throwing this one out of bounds, looking for that crossing route. But with man coverage there, we're going to be able to, lock that up. In the flat route, the emergency route, the check down route is not going to get open either. On the very next play, 2nd and 15, he's going to find Mooney all day in the pocket. And that's just going to be a nice gain of 2 yards. But most importantly, it's just going to get this offense grooving. It's a completion. It's going to build the confidence for Nick Foles. And let's see what they do here on 3rd and 13. As he drops back, going to the end zone, he's going to sail this one all the way over the heads of absolutely everybody. I believe that was just a throwaway as nobody gets open. So far, the defense has played phenomenally, but we need the offense to take advantage of this and hopefully build a big lead. Now, Matthew Stafford back out on the 23-yard line in the shotgun with Swift off to his right. Calls an audible, and he's just going to end up handing this one off. And I believe that's no longer Leonard Floyd. That's going to be Robert Quinn, who plays the opposite end of Khalil Mack now, who's going to be able to stop him at the line of scrimmage. So it's going to be 2nd and 10 here. And we're going to drop back and finding Nick Bodden, the fullback, who's going to get wide open in the little Texas route there. And he's already got 2 catches here today. And you know what? Even for someone like Nick Bodden, I know we're already talking about putting in Njoku in that position, but he's been impressive for us so far this year, as he's been able to come in clutch for a couple key catches, and for necessary first downs or just gaining momentum. 2nd and 10 on the run. 1st and 10 on the run. No yards to be gained there. So we're going to throw it on 2nd down. It's just going to be a little drag route to T.J. Hawkinson. But Roquan, like we said, he's an athlete who's going to be able to stay with him step for step, and he's going to take him down before he gets a chance to turn upfield. So 3rd and 5, needing to make a play here, and he's going to be hit as he throws, and that's going to be an interception for Eddie Jackson, star safety for the Chicago Bears defense. He is the leader when it comes to this defense, and he's going to make a big play for them. And Nick Foles is going to have great field position to take advantage of it and hopefully put up some points on the board, as Trey Flowers is going to be able to take him down. That's going to be a gain of only 1, so 2nd and 9. Nick Foles back in the shotgun. Bunch off to the right with Jimmy Graham at the most inside position. He's going to be dropping back here. Swift motioning out to the left, and a big catch for Jimmy Graham going over the head of Jelani Tavai. And Jimmy Graham is just one of those players who seems to be, the guy to always make the big catches when you need them most. He's made a whole bunch of highlight catches throughout his career, and that's just going to add on to his highlight tape for when he retires. And people are going to look back at his career and see, a whole bunch of great one-handers, great catches and double teams in the seams, jumping over defenders. He was really just a generational talent, and unfortunately injuries, railed his career and in a bad direction. But he's showing to be very effective anyway. He might not have the speed. He might not be, a number 1 target like he was for the Saints anymore, but he is definitely effective, as you're going to see. I believe that was Anthony Miller who's going to drop it on that one. A little hook route there. Maybe came out with a little juice, a little too much juice for Nick Foles, as David Montgomery is going to motion out to the right. So empty back set. Nick Foles dropping back, looking for an open guy. He's going to find Allen Robinson wide open on the short in route there, who's able to turn it up for a 1st down. And, of course, a fresh set of downs now for the Bears offense. Nick Foles is going to, I believe that was Mooney once again, but this time I believe that was Amani who was able to punch it out, plays a physical style of defense there, and it's going to be 2nd and 10 now. Play action, looking around, a great pickup there, throwing it up in the air, and Anthony Miller just makes a big boy play. That is a big catch for this Bears offense as they now tie the game. Desmond Trufant was in coverage, but that was a tough throw to read as he just put it up in the air, and it was a little bit of a back shoulder. You had to see Anthony Miller readjust for it. And he makes a big catch to tie this one up. Now back on offense, Swift is going to catch the flat route for a gain of about 12. And Matthew Stafford now, with only 50 seconds left in the half, looking to hopefully put up some points, but he is going to be taken down. That is Eddie Goldman, known for his, run-stopping ability, just a big body out on the field. and he's going to be able to create some pass rush pressure there. And that was Jonah Jackson who got the one-on-one opportunity, but we know who got the win there. As we're going to throw it to the outside, and Sammy Watkins makes an amazing catch, but it is ruled out of bounds. So now 3rd and 18 with 43 seconds left in the half. We're just going to run this ball here, and the Bears do end up taking their first timeout, so they have about 40 seconds now to go make a play, and after the punt, 31. So they're going to be at the 12-yard line here after a great punt. And let's see if they can make a drive here. It's definitely not one that's looking positive, as the first play is Deshaun Hand disrupting him, able to force the incomplete pass. So 2nd and 10 with 29 seconds left in the half. The last thing we want to do is give up a big play and put them in field goal position. And he's going to be sacked by big boy Danny Shelton. He's taking too much time. We were in cover 2 there, and you saw Allen Robinson ended up getting a one-on-one with Jelani Tavai in the post route. And thank God Nick Foles didn't get an extra second to go ahead and make that throw, because they had a big play winded up. On the very next play, they're going to do exactly what we did, and they're going to end up running it. Hopefully, just getting yards so they can get a safe punt here. So Dustin Colquitt is going to punt it, and hopefully Agnew can get a big return here, and hopefully we can end up with at least 3 points on this drive. He's going to hit the sideline, and he's going to be taken down, but we are at the 44-yard line. So if we do get a decent play, hopefully we can get into guaranteed field goal position. Matthew Stafford in the shotgun, 1st and 10, 9 seconds left. You're going to see Swift motion off to the right, hopefully makes a block there as we do double team. We do end up double teaming Khalil Mack, but unable to get this ball out of bounds. Brashad Perriman does end up catching it, but no timeouts left on the clock, and we're not going to be able to end up putting points here to take the lead going into half, but we do receive the ball. So hopefully we can make something out of it and fortify a lead here, as this is an important game. It's going to be, might even decide our playoff standing here, and if Chicago does end up winning and taking a 2-0 lead in the season series, we're going to be in a very rough spot, and it's going to put us in a situation where, 1, we might have to win out the rest of the games, and 2, Chicago is going to have to lose a couple of them, but we can avoid that. We can avoid that all here if we come out with the win. So 1st and 10, we're going to hand it off to Kerryon Johnson, but it's going to be Robert Quinn, who's going to be the opposite side defensive end, who's able to crash in. And Robert Quinn is an absolute talented player. Maybe not what he was in his days in Los Angeles or St. Louis at the time, but definitely a guy who's going to come in, create consistent pressure for you. And he's definitely a great player to have, even at this point in his career. We're going to find Sammy Watkins on the crossing route, using a little mesh route there to find the open guy. And a tight throw there by Matthew Stafford, who already has 2 interceptions. So hopefully, we still want him to go out there and sling the ball out, take some chances. That's what Matthew Stafford is all about with that cannon of an arm he has. But we want to be safe. As the very next play, Kerryon Johnson, big run. And thank God a couple defenders ended up joining in for that tackle, because Kerryon Johnson looked like he was about to break loose. And if he did, he had nothing but green ahead of him. But it's going to be a big gain of 1st down here, and we're going to go under center on the very next play. Looking around, Matthew Stafford hit as he throws and almost intercepted. We need to see more ball security from Matthew Stafford. This defensive line right now is timing their hits very well. They're able to hit Matthew Stafford as he's trying to throw, which is causing him to throw incompletions. As on the next play, he possibly rattled, as he's going to miss a wide open DeAndre Swift, who probably would have gotten a 1st down as he had room to turn it upfield. But taking a hit on the play on the play before, probably not in his right mind, as he's going to throw a risky one again, as Khalil Mack this time is the one in his face, and this defensive line is absolutely creating consistent pressure right now, and this offensive line has to figure out if we're hoping to stay accurate with Matthew Stafford. But on the first play for defense there, Danny Shelton coming up with his 2nd sack of the season. I believe he must be at 6 at this point. For a defensive tackle, specifically one who's played in a 3-4 his whole career, a guy who's known for just being, a nose tackle. He's going to go head on to the center and, hopefully plug a gap. But he's been absolutely phenomenal for us this year, and we're hoping he can continue that in the later part of the season. So 3rd and 20, they're going to go a screen pass here. Tariq Cohen, Green ahead of him, but Tracy Walker might have just made, the tackle of the game there, as we stop a big 1st down. And we're going to be able to get great field position here. Let's try and take advantage of it. A big play action play. This is going to take a lot of time to set up. And Robert Quinn is going to get past Taylor Decker to get the sack. and it's going to be a 2nd and 17. So already not a great start for this offense. Matthew Stafford, empty back set, looking around. He's going to throw this one to the outside for TJ Hawkinson, who's going to get, he's going to get his yards back and more. So that's a great gain for the Detroit Lions offense, and it's going to, it's going to put us in a 3rd and 4 situation. So this is definitely manageable as we're about to cross the half-field marker. DeAndre Swift is going to run it here. They were expecting pass, so we're going to go right up in the middle with an inside zone, and he's able to avoid a couple defensive linemen to get the big first down for a gain of about 6 or 7. 1st and 10 now on the 48. We're going to hand it off to Kerryon Johnson, who breaks it back inside, and it's going to be rookie Aruna, who's going to be able to trip him down, as he was going to get the first down for sure if he was not able to take him down there. And on this one here, we're going to go with a double reverse to Sammy Watkins, and he's going to fumble the ball, and it's going to be big man Akeem Hicks coming out with the ball in his hands, and after review, it is ruled a fumble. So a big miss opportunity there, as he was about to get the first down. In worst case, we were going to be in a 3rd and 1, somewhere that we feel comfortable having guys like Kerryon Johnson. But a big forced fumble there, and now Chicago gets the chance to go ahead and make a play as the score is still 10-10. Now 2nd and 10 there, he's going to throw this one for Jimmy Graham, but over the head, probably a throwaway. So 3rd and long here, and hopefully our defense can make a play and we can get back out on offense. Nick Foles, plenty of time, is going to load it up deep, and coming back for it is Allen Robinson. And we saw a similar play like that to Allen Robinson as well in the first time that we played, so the first game throughout the series. And those are just heartbreaking there, as you would hope someone can go up and make a play as that ball just sails in the air for quite a while, but Allen Robinson comes out. Very next play, a little hook route there for Anthony Miller, and just like that, they are in great position to go ahead and put some points up on the board. 2nd and inches, Nick Foles looking around, another screen play, and there's going to be a penalty on the field, but Tariq Cohen's going to take it in almost untouched, and hopefully this penalty goes in our direction. But this is going to be a roughing the passer. So, of course, they are going to decline this. And it's going to be a touchdown for the Chicago Bears as they take a 17-10 lead. Now, we need to respond here. We need points no matter what. So, what will this offense do? They pitch it on the first play, but David Njoku's going to miss a block, or he's going to make the wrong read. Doesn't choose the MDM, the most dangerous man. Eddie Jackson is going to be able to make a play behind the line of scrimmage. So a loss of 3, and just like that, not a great start. Khalil Mack on the very next play creating pressure, but we're going to be able to dump it off right before he's able to take us down. But unfortunately, with Roquan Smith on the scene, it's going to be a gain of 0. So 3rd and 13. We need a big play here, and Sammy Watkins comes up with a tough catch, but it's going to be nowhere near where we need to be, and we're going to be forced to punt, as this is going to be the last play before the end of the quarter. And what is it going to be? It's going to be Nick Foles. He's just going to hand it up right up the middle to David Montgomery, who's going to get great yards there. That's about 8 yards. That's always a great gain. You're always happy with that if you can get that on first down. So 2nd and 2, and you can just tell that this offense is probably not feeling much stress here, as he almost breaks it out to the outside, but Jelani Tavai makes another great tackle. He's been phenomenal for us in the run game. He's been a sure-handed tackler. He's able to get tackles in one-on-one coverage, one-on-one situations with running backs, which is usually the hardest, because some of these running backs really have a large bag of tricks when it comes to one-on-one situations. But he's been phenomenal for us this year, and we're definitely happy with what he's been able to accomplish, as we're definitely looking for a linebacker who can take over for this team, be the star linebacker for this team. And when you got a guy like Jelani Tavai, who's been able to make so many plays for us, will he become that guy? That's yet to see. But is he going to be a guy who's going to stay on this team because he's just a great player for us? He's consistent, and he makes great plays in the run game. Absolutely. He is going to be a great depth player if he doesn't end up developing into the guy that we're looking for. Or he's just going to be a guy who we're going to be able to switch into an off-ball linebacker, maybe at right outside linebacker. He's going to be a guy who's going to find a role in this defense no matter what with his performance so far this year. Now, after running with DeAndre Swift and getting nowhere, we're going to throw the out route there to Rodney Foreman for a gain of about 8. So it's going to be a 3rd and 2. So it was a gain of 9 there. Matthew Stafford under center. We're going to hand this one off to Kerryon Johnson. We need a tough run here, and he's going to be able to drag himself in there, as I was Robert Quinn and Eddie Jackson making the play. Now, 1st and 10, fresh set of downs. We need to score some points here in the 4th quarter. Matthew Stafford under center. He's going to finally snap the ball. It's going to be play action, looking around. He's going to dump this one off to David Njoku and just overthrows it. So Matthew Stafford is mixing some big throws for us here today, and we're going to be paying for these, no doubt, as it's going to be a 3rd and 8 instead of a first down that Njoku would have surely had, and we're not enjoying the performance of Matthew Stafford here so far. Definitely seems rattled by the pressure that this defense has been able to create, as we do end up getting the first down there to Rodney Foreman on the drag route. But, we're putting our offense in situations, consistent 3rd and 8 or 3rd and longer. And, you can't expect to be successful if that's the kind of situation that you're placing yourself in. And, the only way to avoid getting into situations like that is when you do have the opportunity to make an easy throw or an easy play, is that you have to take advantage of that. And we have not been able to do so far today. And there's another one there, but this time he is under pressure. This is not just an errant throw. He's hit as he's thrown. But, we had a wide open Rodney Foreman who does a little in-out there and unable to connect. So now looking around, we're going to have Breshad Perriman who takes an absolute hit. And he's going to be short here on 4th and 1. And at this point, this is grounds to go for it. And that is exactly what this offense does, is they stay out on the field. But we need a tough run here. And that's going to be DeAndre Swift getting a tough run. And I believe this is going to be a face mask, and it is. So an extra 15 yards on top of that. And we're going to be, just like that, it's going to be a 1st and 10 on the 15-yard line. No excuse to not put up points. We just got to be careful with the ball and not put ourselves in a bad situation, as this one's going to be deflected down. Those quick flat routes and those quick outs are always dangerous and suspect for guys who are ensuing there. Kerryon Johnson on the very next play is going to run it right up the middle, and that's going to be a big first down as he stretches the ball up forward. And we're going to stay under center here, hoping to make a play. Now Matthew Stafford is going to roll out looking for a guy, and he keeps going, and he finds Jesse James, our 3rd tight end on the depth chart, who has been a little underwhelming. The whole reason that we went on and got David Njoku is just Jesse James was not getting open. He had a couple drops already this season. And, we wanted something more as a weapon for the future. And, but it's always nice that Jesse James goes ahead and makes a big play when we need it. So now, with a tied game with about 2 minutes and 30 seconds left, Nick Foles is going to be under pressure to make another game-winning drive, something he's done in the past with Philadelphia. Hopefully we do not add to the list. Now, officially the 2-minute warning after hitting the little drag route there for a first down. So 1st and 10 on the 41, and of course only 2 minutes left in the game. This defense needs to make a stand here, because if Chicago gets it the way that they want, they're going to drag it out as much time as they can. They're going to throw the ball, and they're going to focus on quick completions. They're going to run it. They're going to do everything they can to stay in bounds, and that is exactly what they're doing so far. They're just throwing it short. They're not testing the waters deep, and they're just getting easy completions to make sure the clock keeps running, as we do finally force an incompletion there, as he was looking for the little hook route for Jimmy Graham. So 2nd and 10 now with 43. No team has used their timeouts yet. So if we do force a field goal, we might be in position to, hopefully get a game-winning drive. Finally, Danny Shelton is going to create a big sack. That is his 3rd of the game. Imagine that. Danny Shelton has been phenomenal for us this year, and just such a big surprise. And, he's probably going to be the biggest surprise of the year that we've had so far. And on top of that, maybe even the defensive player of the year for us when it comes to the Detroit Lions team, because he's just been performing at that kind of level. So they're unable to get points there. We're able to get a big stop after the Danny Shelton sack, and with 1 minute and 3 seconds left with 2 timeouts, we are pretty far back, but we have the opportunity to make a play, and what seems like a routine play for this offense, a little fade route for Rodney Foreman, is going to be an interception. It wasn't enough air on the ball. Rodney Foreman is going to outrun it a little bit, unable to turn back, and this might just cost us the game. Matthew Stafford with a 3-interception performance here today. And now David Montgomery is going to break a couple tackles and gain about 9 yards, maybe even the first down. 2nd and 1 with 53 seconds left. We're forced to take a timeout here, but a first down could end things. Now we're going to get a good play there with Christian Jones. But with time running out now, after after using our last timeout, they're going to run it here. We do need to create a stop. But of course, with 40 seconds left on the clock, no timeouts to ice the kicker, this is going to be an opportunity for a game-winning kick for Chicago. So they're going to let the clock run out here. And of course, we're begging for something. And this one is going to sneak in. And that is going to be the end of it unless we can get a miracle right here. Agnew needs to go out and make a play. So officially, he's going to fall down here, not comfortable with his blocks. And we're going to need a miracle here. We're going to need a big catch. We're going to need some laterals. We're going to need a broken tackle. We're going to need something as we're going to go deep to Rodney Foreman on the sideline. And it's going to be ruled a catch, but he is going to be taken down right after. Throwing to the sideline, probably not the best idea with only 2 seconds left. Just naturally, even if he doesn't get taken down, his momentum might carry him out of bounds. And that's going to be the end of it. 4 turnovers here today. A fumble by Sammy Watkins. 3 interceptions. One of the interceptions, I'm willing to say, not Matthew Stafford's fault. They were able to create a lot of pressure. They were able to, force, some errant throws. Matthew Stafford seemed to have gotten in his own head. He missed a couple easy ones. Definitely not a great performance for Matthew Stafford, but I will at least make an excuse for one of them. The other 2, bad decisions. An underthrow there for Rodney Foreman in the 4th quarter with 1 minute left when we needed to go out and make a play. He is unable to do so. And this is going to be the second time Matthew Stafford goes ahead and throws 3 interceptions in one game. And we definitely do not want to see that at this point in the season. But our inconsistencies continue. Now we're hopefully going to bounce back here. But of course our next game is going to end up being against the Green Bay Packers. And this just might be the toughest game. And not only that, the most important game of the season. So I hope you guys enjoyed. Peace out. And I'll see you guys soon.